Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to see the chapter Polynomials in class 10. So this is a second chapter and it's a very important chapter where you can easily score marks. Now let's see more about the concepts which we will be learning. We have learnt in class ninth about the different types of polynomials based on the degree of polynomials. Degree of polynomials are nothing but the highest power of the variable. Here you can see when the degree of polynomial is 0, it is called as a constant polynomial. When it is 1, it's called as a linear. When it is 2, it's called as a quadratic. When it is 3, it's called as a cubic, and it is named accordingly. When it is 4, it is called quartic, and when it is 5, it is called as quintic. So now here we have the geometric meaning of the zeros of a polynomial. The geometric meaning here for the first one is a linear polynomial where it is given by y is equal to ax plus b. When you are giving the values for x, you will get the corresponding value of y. When these points are represented on the graph, you can see that the points will lie on a straight line. And when you join them, you get a straight line, and this is indication that it's a linear equation, it's a linear polynomial. So always in a linear polynomial, you will get a straight line. So now moving on to the next type of the polynomial. So here is the next type of the polynomial, that is the quadratic polynomial. A quadratic polynomial general form is given by ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. You should know why a should not be equal to 0. Suppose if you take the a value as 0, then again it becomes a linear polynomial. So that's the reason always you should remember that a value should not be 0. Now here you get a different type of curve. When it is represented on the graph, you get a different type of curve which is in U shape, and this is called as a parabola. And this parabola depends upon the value of a. If the value of a is greater than 0, then it is pointed upwards, and if it is less than 0, it is pointed downwards. So there are three cases in this. The first case is here you can see the curve touches the x-axis at 2 points, that is A and A dash. You can observe that the curve is touching the x-axis at 2 points, which indicates that there are two zeros. Now we will see case 2. In case 2 you have the same curve parabola touches the x-axis at 1 point, which indicates that you have 1 0. The curve cuts the x-axis at 1 point, and now you have the third case where the curve does not touch the x-axis, which indicates that there are no zeros in this case. So we can consolidate and tell that geometrically for a quadratic polynomial you can either have two distinct values, or you can have one value, or you can have no values. So this means that a polynomial of degree 2 has at most two zeros. You can have even 1 0, or you may, in some cases there are no zeros also, but seeing the curve you must be able to identify whether it is a quadratic polynomial. Now moving on to the next type of the polynomial, that is the cubic polynomial, where you can observe the curve touches the x-axis at three different points. Similarly to the previous case, here also you have different possibilities where the curve may touch at 1 point, or it may touch at 2 points, or it may not touch at any point. So depending upon the curve touching the x-axis, the number of zeros are decided, but by seeing the curve you must be able to identify what kind of polynomial is given. Now let's have a quick recap of whatever you have learned now. Here are few graphs represented here. Take a look, take time, and try to identify the number of zeros. Yes, hope you all have got the right answer. You can check the answers. The first one, you will have only 1 0, and it is a cubic polynomial. Second one, Correct, it will be a quadratic polynomial where it touches at 2 points. Here it's again a cubic polynomial where it touches at 3 points. Here, since it is a straight line, it's a linear polynomial. Here it's a parabola which touches at 1 point. Here this is a curve where it touches at 4 different points. We cannot say it's a cubic polynomial because in a cubic polynomial at most you should have 3 zeros. That means it should touch at 3 points, but here it touches at 4 points. So you will have 4 zeros in this case. Hope you all have understood and I have made you clear about the geometric meaning. By seeing the graph, you must be able to identify what kind it is. Let's see more about this chapter in the next video. Thank you.